time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL, and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. Not my girl, and say, this is.
I got a few dollars, but what I supposed to do? These are the bills. There's so many bills. I don't know. Do I got enough money to pay the bills? I mean, what do? I need my apartment. I need my place. I need food. I need something to eat. I need to get myself together with it. I'm trying. I've been trying. Who knew I was going to get sick? Who knew I was going down? Who knew I would need a transplant? Who knew I would have to try 2 jobs or have 2 jobs? Who knew I would become a widow? Who? I don't know what else to do. Bills. You know what? I had to call that woman, Lisa. You know, she's supposed to have somebody on her show. Wait a minute, here's my glasses. These are my regular glasses. They're my reading glasses. But she's supposed to have this woman on her show, the crusher, the killer, the assassinator, the assassin or something about bills and debts. The debt crusher. Why? Because this is the Lisa Baxter Show. That's right, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Hey guys, happy Super Bowl Sunday. Who knew what I did with my jersey? I couldn't find that football just to throw it at the screen to show you that I am a fan. That is so right. Yes, if the church was open, we'd be having a big party up in there. Bishop would be preaching a big old message, a Super Bowl message. We'd have our jerseys and stuff on, get our eating stuff on later, and watching it on a big screen together. How about that? Well, let me get on in here and talk to you and tell you about my show. Is this adorable or what? You know, what you call it is next week, the heart-shaped day, Valentine's Day, and I just love these things. They're good. Okay, and look, it's Black History Month. I'm Black all year round, and I'm proud of it, glad about it, and I'm telling you, I'm glad this is our month, and we are going to celebrate it up live. Let me introduce my guest. Oh, wow, she is a dead crusher. Yes, she is. She has her own show, and she has her own thing going on to help me, you, and everybody else. That's right. She even worked for HR with the post office in the HR as an associate. So she's not just a financial coach or a debt crusher. She's more than that. But I'm going to let her tell her own story. Sylvia Tarpley, welcome to the Lisa Baxter Show. Woo, woo!
Hey. I was busy dancing to the music.
That music could do this for you. That music could do this for you. I just wanted to give you this because the scripture that I had for you, Proverbs 31 and 29. Many daughters have done virtually, but thou exceedest them all. So that's what you about, because girl, you know I watch you grow up and everything, and you just exceeding all up over the place, all over the place. So I'm very proud of you. I know your mother and your family are too, but I wanted you to hear it from my heart. Okay?
Well, thank you. To God be the glory. Thank you for having me. I feel honored to be on your show. You've always been very informative and giving out information, and I'm just glad to be invited to your community, and thank you.
You're welcome. Well, wow, we're going to get this car and this ball rolling. Let me see, where can we start? Now the job that you do, the job you're working at the post office, tell us what you do there before we get into the debt business.
Well, I'll take incoming calls from other employees who have questions about their benefits. I'm also a facilitator. So I train new hires that come in or they're learning about a specific process. And I'm currently also working in retirements, helping to process retirement applications.
Is that hard working at the post office? You know, I need my mail. No, I'm just kidding. But,
I don't do the mail. I don't sell the stamps, and I don't deliver the mail. Don't get me, my mail is late too.
Well, my mother worked for the post office, and she was very good at it. And I had some siblings too, and my father dabbled in that a little bit before he went into the army and stuff. After rather. But all right. Well, whatever you do, I'm sure it's helping the mail and everything else inside there. Because if their money not right or what you do in HR is not right, sometimes that make you not work right. I know that's right. When the money ain't right, people are happy when they get paid. But
Absolutely.
Anyway, okay. Now, how did you start the debt crusher or this debt crushing business?
So, as you know, I'm originally from Brooklyn. In about 1998, I went to visit a friend in Springfield, Virginia, and I loved it. And I said, when I go home, I'm leaving Brooklyn. And so we went and we visit houses. It was a group of us. We went and we applied for these beautiful homes they were building, and we all got denied. And I wish I remember the man that assisted us, but he told us what to do and how to get approved. And so I went home, and it took me 2 years. I had $10,000 worth of credit card debt, and it took me 2 years to get out of it. I did exactly what he told me to do, but I still didn't quite understand the aspect of debt and your credit score and things like that. I just did whatever he told me to do. But then I began to educate myself on it. And when I moved down here, people started asking me questions, and I had a few women from my church. We would come over, and that turned into the Debt Crusher Boot Camp. And I I had friends that worked places, and they were able to get me a room, or I would get a room at the public library and just do it for free. Just educate people on their credit scores and how to increase them and how to eliminate debt. And then I started the camp, the boot camp. And now I have an online presence on YouTube, and I have my website where people can do an online course, or they can schedule consultations. So it just kept growing and growing, just out of the love of helping others.
Wow. Well, did you know it was going to take off like this?
I had no idea. I did it because I wanted to relocate. And I don't know, I just like to help people. And I just kept, school is not for everybody. And I really just read books, and I did a lot of research, and I just learned more about it. And I wish I knew more then than what I know now. But I just share it and educate people. I try to teach people how to do it instead of doing it for them. People call and say, can you fix my credit? I cannot fix your credit, but I can educate you on the whole process and what it means and what you need to do. I'm going to teach you how to do it so you can help your village, you can help your children. But I won't go and do the work for you. I'll do it with you.
Okay, we're going to break this down one at a time. You told us a lot, and you told us so much like it was the whole show already, but it's not.
It just flows. I can't help it.
Hey, no, I like it to flow. That's what I want to. I don't like nothing rehearsed. We keep it 1,000 up in this piece. But let me tell you now, okay, so you started doing this. You wanted to relocate. So what made you want to relocate? Because you saw Virginia and you loved it, or what?
Well, when I lived in the projects in Brooklyn before I left. So I lived in Van Dyke houses. And me and my mother were planning on buying a 2-family home. And, that's popular in New York. But when I went to Virginia, I was like, oh, my gosh, like, I'm out of here. I'm not going to buy a house in Brooklyn. But I got denied. Yeah. So I got a plan, and I stuck to it. It took 2 years to do it, but I did it. I used any extra income I had. I was selling business cards. Your husband was my first customer. I was selling business cards, making flyers, making invitations. If I got a refund for school, back then I was getting a tax refund. And, I just used that extra income to pay off the credit card debts. I had a gas card and didn't have a license or a car. I didn't know how to drive, but I had a gas card.
And that was big when we was in, when we were all together in the church in New York. Everybody, we learned how to drive. We were all getting cars. We were all buying houses. So that was a big thing, in New Life. New Life Cathedral, where we were going. And,
Yes.
You went to that church a long time. I'm still in there. But, we went to that church a long time, and I know you come up to visit, and we miss y'all and everything. But y'all thriving where you at. And I love that. Because some people move or relocate and end up having to run back or don't do well or try to find other places even before, they come back, if they come back.
Right.
But you guys are doing good out there. So, all right. So you knew what you wanted to do, and you left, and you were able to leave, but you was working on your credit before that. And you did take this fella instruction. Some people sometimes get worse in debt or never do anything about their debt and just keep on trying to get something. But sometimes, the people will give you a house or let you buy certain things, and that thing, your debt gets worse and worse, like years of getting worse, and look like you could never get out of it or never buy nothing else again. So I'm glad that didn't happen to you. So, well, all right. So you started this thing, and it started jumping off the ground, the boot camp. You started the boot camp, and the boot camp grew. So did all of you start doing this business, or it was just still you, and what happened?
It was just me. My family would support me. My mother, my lovely assistant, as I call her, she would come to the boot camps and help out. But I was the only one, doing the facilitating. But yeah, and to go back to what you said, life happened. So I got out of debt before I relocated, but I got in debt again because life happens. There's sicknesses, there's divorce, there's death, there's unemployment. Life happens. And so that's why I feel like it's so important that to educate the people. So when that does happen, I was able to get out of it again. And God forbid something happens again, I'll know how to get out of it because life happens. And so you have to learn to begin again. You have to pick up your bootstraps, whatever, and just start all over again. And so that's why I like to teach people how to do it. Rather doing it for them.
Wow. Yeah, because we came from that. I know when as a social worker, that we used to do things, solve the problems or help them with the problem and do everything. But it's better if you teach the person, like Jesus taught the person to fish. I fish for you today and give you the fish. I cook the meal and everything. But now you're going to have to catch the fish, cook the meal, scale it, do your thing now. Yeah. Exactly. So I love that. I love that. You learned that concept and you did something about it and you got yourself out of it twice. Now, you started this business and it started to grow. Now, how did you start with the videos and stuff? I just love those videos and stuff. I just shared a couple of them, watched them, looked at them. I even texted them to a few people. Please, go on.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I think when Facebook first started, I didn't like Facebook. And then I just started doing videos on Facebook. But it was under something else I did called Boss the Movement, bringing our sister support. And I started doing like a series on there. And I don't know. I think that's the first time I did videos. And then more recently, I started doing YouTube. Because that's all I've been watching. So I said, oh, I could do that. I'm just going to get on there and talk. And my youngest daughter, Jules, she helped me edit the videos and sit this way and turn it like that. Put your head that way. And I'm like, Julie, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just let me be myself. Let it come off as something real. But yeah, that's what happened.
She's doing a fantabulous job, Shondo. Let me tell you, I was saying I wanted to hire her myself. I'm like, I do the best I can. And then
You're doing well. You're reaching thousands of people. You're doing well.
Well, I started this with Mitch over 10 years ago, and he was the cameraman and everything. And Juan Bravo was my other cameraman, Dee's son, and my sister's son. So, and now I got the Mr. Nurse Belcher. I got, Jared and all of them behind me. That helps me very well and to keep this thing going as long as the wheels are still rolling. But okay, so all right, so cool. How have you helped anybody, you would say, or give me an example of a day or a situation that you've helped them, and then give us some steps. I'm not going to rush you with this thing because these people are listening. Ears are open. Woo!
Well, I've helped a couple. I won't name names because it's private. We actually we bartered services. They fixed my computer. And I help them with their credit. And what most people will find once you look at it, it's not as bad as you think. So I give people the option if they want to show me their credit report, or I know some people just don't, and that's fine. I can help you without even looking at it. But they looked at it and they saw it wasn't as bad as they thought it was. And I'm like, oh, this is nothing. Just look at it was a little bit of money that they owed. And I think people think stuff stay on your credit report forever. And it doesn't. And if it is, and you have goals you need to meet, but they wound up buying a house maybe a year or two later. And of course, whatever I know, I teach my family. And my daughter bought her first house at 24 years old. And so, it was the first closing during COVID. So I never saw a closing in a car, but we drove up in the car and she did her closing in the car. And so she's caught on to the practices of debt and money management and things like that. I help. For the most part, the biggest things have been people wanting to purchase homes, and so I've helped them with that.
And that's a big thing, and that's a big step. I enjoyed owning my home. I had my home 16 years, and since when Mitch and I got sick, we downsized and went to an apartment and things of that nature. But I would want a condo or something like that, a co-op. Now I had a co-op years ago, and I'd go back to that. Let somebody else take care of the grounds. I don't feel like sweeping or nothing or getting no snow up. But but to God be the total glory. Whatever way you find yourself, be content. How about that? But all right, so you've helped these people, right? And you're still helping people. What are some steps of getting out of debt or improving your debt, or whatever steps do you want to give us? Because I'm going to take notes, y'all.
The first thing you want to do is get your credit report. You want to see what you're working with. And like I said before, it might not be as bad as you feel. You could go to annual credit report and get a free credit report from all three bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And due to COVID-19, I think once a week you can go to the website and get your credit report. It really won't be much of a change once a week, but they are offering that option, I believe, just to monitor. But that's the first thing you want to do. Most popular website would be Credit Karma. You go to creditkarma.com. It shows Experian and TransUnion. TransUnion and Equifax. And you can see your score. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to look to see what it is. And whatever you have current, keep paying it. Even if it's the minimum, keep paying whatever account you have current. That's the main thing you want to do, because that has the biggest effect on your score. And I don't know the ranges by heart, so I'm just going to let you all know. Your credit score runs between 300 and 850. If your score is between 300 and 579, that's poor. If it's between 580 and 669, that's fair. And if it's between 670 and 739, that's considered good credit. Very good credit, 740 to 799. And exceptional is 800 to 850. And so you may be saying you don't want to make a big purchase, but your credit could affect a job application, your insurance, apartment. So even if you have a home, or you might need to repair your home, you might need to repair your vehicle. These are the things that credit could come. Good credit matters, and if you don't want to have good credit and don't have it, like you want to have it before you need it, in other words. But get your credit report, look at your scores, see if there's any collections. But when you get your credit report, the first thing you want to do is make sure your information is correct. Make sure your name is correct. Make sure the addresses listed are correct. Because that could be a sign of fraud, of someone stealing your identity. So that you want to make sure it's you. Because I've had an instance where I looked and my relative's address is on my credit report. And so, thank God none of their debt or anything was on my credit report. But that's the kind of things you want to look at. That may signify that your identity has been stolen. So definitely check out your information and make sure that's correct. And then start looking at everything on your credit report to see if that's your account. Is it saying that you were late and you were never late? Have you paid off something that is showing that you still owe a balance? You want to look and make sure everything is correct. And then if it's not correct, then you want to start working on getting those things corrected. And that's something that I can assist you with. But that's the first thing. Start looking, see what's owed, see if it's a balance, because you have to see what you have to work on. And I guarantee you it's probably not as bad as you think, because some things might have fall off, such as your You might have had collections and it's been over 7 years and that's have fallen, because people will go 7 years without even looking at their credit report. So that's some things that you want to look at first and foremost.
Ooh, am I in school or what? I love it. That's what I'm talking about. School me. Talk to me and show me. You know what I mean? Because I always paid my bills on time. They even gave me an award because I paid bills all the time. But when two things happened to me, when Mitch and I were getting married, and we got married and we were buying a house like 4 years later. And I had to help him establish credit. So we did, the card thing, and he established it. But then one time they kept saying, Lisa Crossland, something was wrong with my credit. But when we went down there, it wasn't even me that they really were talking about, but they was ready not to give me a house and everything. That's one. Then so SSD gave me money because I was out. I don't know if I was dialysis or something had happened. I think that's when Mitch had got sick and I had to take off for both of us being ill. And they said, I came back and I told them, listen, you don't have to give me any more money. I went back to work. You said to tell you when I go back. So I told them, they said, Miss Baxter, listen, you want dialysis, so we don't want to bother you about none of that. It's more harder to take you off than to put you back on. So we keep you. And I said, I don't want this affecting me because I don't have any problems and I never had it back. They said, no. My husband died, right? Right when after that, I still miss that man, but right after that, they started sending me letters that I owed them $20,000. I started coughing and choking and like everything. Like what? I'm like, this must be a mistake. I go all the way down there, and they said, "Oh no, you owe us this money. You were still working." I said, I was still working. I came down there, showed you the check, gave you the check, you took a picture. They act like they don't know what I was talking about, so I was getting upset. But I started paying them money every month. A lot of money, but then it got so I couldn't afford to give them anything. I wasn't going to be able to eat. They didn't want to understand that. I went through hell with that, and I still do. And I still been paying them, and then I had to give them a little bit at a time. First it was $200, then it was $150, then it down to $100. Now I give them $75, and then I ain't ever gave them anything when I was out on disability before I went back. So I just said that to say this. I'm glad that didn't mess up my credit because it's still saying I have good credit, but that haunts me and bothers me because I like to pay all my bills. I don't like nobody messing with.
Right.
I don't know if you ran into anything like that or ever heard of anything like that, but I wanted to put it out there and come clean. Some people are very private. I'm not that private.
Yeah, it is what it is. You have to be careful also when you have the same name as your parents or the same name as your children, because sometimes that gets mixed up if you're a junior. And not just the men, because women name their children, their daughters after them too. So if you have the same name as a relative, that could cause your credit to get mixed up sometimes. So you just want to be mindful. Like, don't not look at it. You want to be mindful. You want to stay on it because it could be fixed. Anything could be fixed. And so don't feel like you have to throw in the towel and just forget about it. Now, if you got to eat and pay debt, you won't eat. And you have to prioritize. Look, I gotta eat. But you gotta prioritize what it is you want to do. And then some stuff, if, like for instance, if you have a collections on your credit report and it's not reporting anymore, don't touch it, guys. Do not touch it, because you could renew that collection. So you don't want to touch it. And even if you're sick and you have a lot of medical bills that you haven't paid because the doctor's office gives you 6 months to pay it before they even put it on your credit report. So if they put it on your credit report for whatever reason, you're unable to pay it and it goes into collection, they have to prove that it's your account. Now, I'm not saying be a crook or nothing like that, but they have to prove that that's your account, because your relationship was not with you and ABC collection agency. It was with Kings County Hospital, let's just say. And so they have to prove that that's your account. And if they pull up, if you say they send you the letter, respond, guys. They give you 30 days to respond. Make sure you respond. And when you respond, you said, okay, show me documentation that this is my account. In order for them to approve that is your account, they have to show you something that HIPAA laws don't play about. So that means they showing you your diagnosis, your medical records, which means they have broken HIPAA laws. And that'll help you out. You know, there's a lot of little things that will help you out, because sometimes you just can't pay it. You just can't pay it. And that's just the truth of the matter. And sometimes some things you're going to have to ride out until it fall off. It's not there forever. Just like in the Bible, every 7 years they got rid of their debts. That is true today. You know, so some stuff you're going to have to ride out. And sometimes you're going to have to downgrade. Like you said, you had to downgrade when you guys got sick. And don't let pride, you know, stop you from making the necessary adjustments, because you can begin again.
You got a budget sometime. I remember God told me to save money, enough rent for a couple of months in case anything happened to me. And I still thought that was crazy because I was young then, really young. So, but I did it. And then something would happen, and I always had the rent, even whether I was had a job or not. I always had the rent. And I'm like, woo, thank you, Jesus.
Right.
No, you know.
It's wonderful when you don't have to borrow it, right?
It's very much.
Nobody has to know that you were struggling and you didn't have the money, because you had your own money and your savings. Something I struggle with. Like, I just want to leave the savings, but I have to remember that's what it's for. In case of emergencies, you go ahead and you use it. You don't want to see the numbers go down, but you don't have to call anybody and borrow any money. Nobody even has to know you have to know that you had a problem. So save something. Don't spend everything. You have to save money. Because life happens. My favorite saying, life happens, and you have to be ready. Yeah. And it's usually what you don't expect to happen.
It really do. I got a prank phone call one time, and they said, you know, you owe us so and so and so. And I mean, I was sick that day. I mean, I was really sick. I think I was home or something. And I answered the phone, and I said, well, mister, I'm sick. Will you bother me? You know, you don't should be bothering me. I'm sick. He said, what? So. Then what he going to happen to say, I had 2 daughters. Now, y'all know I ain't got no children. I'd be the first one to claim the babies if I had them. You know what I mean? So when he started saying I had kids and all of that, and I said, well, who is she? Or where they at? And then I said, you know, you bothering me so much. I started bothering him. So he hung up the phone. He didn't want to talk to me no more when I start questioning him. So sometimes it could be a prank or a lie too. You know, now what is your website, or how can they really talk to you or contact you if they need to?
You can go to the Debt Crusher. It's the debtcrusher.org. On there, you'll find my phone number if you want to schedule or have a question, or you need to contact me. But I do offer free consultations. So you can schedule a free consultation. You can tell me what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and I'll let you know. We could work together, you know, if I'm able to assist you, and if so, then you'll choose whether you want to do it one-on-one with me, or you could do an online course. So all of my information is at thedebtcrusher.org. And if you want to see videos on different topics, you can go to, I usually post one on that website as well, or you can go to my YouTube page, which is under the Debt Crushers. Also.
Excellent. Now, suppose a person is on public assistance, fixed income, Social Security, disability, if any way that you can help them, or any advice you can give to some of those people that might be watching, Miss Tarpley?
Yes, ma'am. So you definitely want to live within your means. You want to live within your means. And if that means sharing, I shouldn't say this, but if that means sharing somebody's Netflix account or whatever, like, eliminate bills, live within your means. Before I moved, I didn't have cable. The only thing I had was internet. So I watched what I could on YouTube, because thank God it's still free. I don't know if Netflix was free at that time, but live within your means until you reach the goal that you want to reach. And even if you have it, you know, and then there's a lot of free programs that I'm sure you've shared with people, or they could contact you, whatever city they're in. Find out the resources that's available in your community for whatever your situation may be. But just because your income is low doesn't mean you can't have good credit. Because remember, before I left, I was living in the projects. And my rent wasn't a lot. I don't know. I don't think I was making a lot. You know, in the projects, your rent goes 30% of your income. And I had two young children. And that's probably why it took me 2 years, because I didn't have an excess amount of income. But I did things on the side. You know, watched kids, did flyers, get a side job, do something that you can make some extra money in to help you to pay off something or clear up something, or, you know, and even if you may not have a credit and you're trying to repair it, because some people don't have credit cards. Everybody doesn't have credit card, and you're trying to get a credit history. You can do that if you have a Netflix account or a cell phone bill, or you're paying utilities. You can do that through Experian Boost, and just connect your bank account that you pay these bills on, and that'll help you to rebuild your credit. That'll help you to establish credit if you haven't already. And so just because your income is low does not mean you cannot accomplish good credit. You just have to take a look at your reality, look at your income, and live accordingly. And that's really all that I can say. You have to be true to yourself. And if you can't afford that, then don't get it. Get a budget. Live within your budget. Prioritize and try to squeeze out a little something if you can. But like I said, everybody can't. And so you have to bring in that extra income.
Wow. I know that's right. I mean, I was a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
I did a cleaning business, my sister and I. You know, we did a little bit of everything. You name it, tutoring. You know what I mean? Listen, you got to do what you got to do to live.
And take a skill that you have that people ask you about a lot. If you could do hair, if you do makeup, if you watch kids, if you clean houses, if you know about credit, if you do nails, whatever, your thing is that people come to you all the time is a source of income. And people say, I don't have skills. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. Yes, you can. If people ask you for advice all the time, get on Facebook and do a little video and take questions. It's always some way to make extra money. So don't let your economic status hold you back. It can be done. I can't hear you.
You can?
Now I can.
Oh, that's good. I'm though. Well, it's almost done. I started to put the earbuds in, or see if we had to put it in, or what.
I can hear you now.
All right. Steve didn't tell me that anyway, so just in case. But what I wanted to say, that unthrew me a little bit. But what would you say to a woman out there? Because you were a single woman raising children, relocating, starting a business, you know, making money, killing and crushing that debt. What would you say to a woman out there, or a woman that maybe want to do your same business?
Well, you definitely want to educate yourself. Like I said earlier, you may not be able to go to college. College may not be your thing, but there's plenty of books out there. I love to read. And so that's how a lot of what I learned, I taught myself from reading books. And whether it's this or anything you want to do the work. You got to put the work in. You got to put the work in. You got to do the research. You got to know what you're talking about. And just stick to it. And get you a village. A lot of things I couldn't do without a village. And your village does not have to be your blood relatives. You know, when I moved down here, I always bragged about New Life. New Life was my family. You know, y'all still my family, but New Life was my family. And so you get you a village, get you a team of people. I don't know if y'all heard about these two sisters, and I don't know, they're not blood sisters, but two friends. They were single mothers. They moved in together with their kids, paid off their debt, saved up their money, bought houses next to each other, closed on the same day. Get you a village, get you an accountability partner, and surround yourself with people that are going to help you, that are going to push you forward. Do it together. But you definitely need a support system, and my family is my support system. And you just have to find somebody and get a friend, get a coworker, somebody who's looking to do the same thing. But take out the time to do the research. You're gonna have to put the work in for whatever it is you want to do.
Now, that's excellent. Now, very excellent. Before I have to give you a shout out to who you want to give it to. You changed your way of eating, and why did you change your way of eating? And I was looking at some of the recipes you was doing, some on your own, some with your grandchildren. I ain't mad at you. Talk about it.
Yeah, they left me all that cake, by the way. Well, what happened is one year, me and my daughters went to Disney World. Crazy story. And we were getting on like a go-kart, a racing track or something like that. And what I know now, I think I had a heat stroke. Because I got extremely hot and I felt like I was going to pass out. And I'm like in the park. It was bleachers on that ride or something. And in the park, I'm like basically trying to get naked because I was super hot. And they went and they got me ice chips and things like that. And I was like, that's it. Like, I just gotta lose weight, basically. And so that was like the end of August, and September 1st of 2013, I just stopped eating meat. It was my third time trying, but I stopped eating meat, and I eat seafood, but I don't eat pork, chicken, turkey, beef. And so, when you first go on a diet, it shocks your body. So I lost like 25 pounds. And we ain't gonna talk about now. But yeah, that's that's why I stopped eating meat.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been there up and down, but I love your recipes, your bean recipes, and your little recipes up there. So I posted some of them, looked at some of them and everything. And I was proud of you because it's not always easy to change your diet.
Yeah.
Whether it's illness or whatever it is, it's not easy to change it.
Yeah.
But you did, and you do. So I'm very proud and happy that you've done that.
Well, I appreciate it.
For anybody out there.
And one thing I could say, ladies, if you stop eating meat, it will do wonders for your cycle. I never cramped or anything like that, but I didn't even know, I would get maybe like a little soreness. But when I stopped eating meat, I didn't even know it was coming on. So it helped. It helped tremendously. So if you have problems in that area, not eating meat could help you.
Wow. Well, I want a Debt Crusher shirt, a hat, or whatever you got. I don't care. And I like that shirt you got on about good credit. I definitely ain't mad at you. No.
It's on the website. It's on the website.
Woo. All right now. All right, you got me now. I'm a customer. I believe in support. Now, who would you give that shout out to? That wonderful, excellent, woohoo shout out to? I'm gonna give you the screen by yourself. Say what you want to say.
Okay, so I want to shout out to my family, my village, my mother, my lovely assistant, the Vanna White of my life. So my mother, my children, Jamar, Princess, Jewel, my brother Michael, and my sisters Priscilla and Naomi, and all my nieces and nephews, and my godmother Deborah. And thank you for my village. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you, everybody. And most importantly, to my fellow debt crushers. I would be nothing without y'all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming to me and trusting me to help you reach your goals. And shout out to Lisa Baxter for this opportunity and all the information she shared throughout the years. Before it was a big social media thing, and she'd be in church with her hand written notes, giving out information and and her flyers, and always sharing information. Shout out to you. We love you.
I love you too. Oh my God. You gonna make me cry, T. Go ahead. I ain't mad at you. Oh man, you just rock. That's all. You just totally rock. You, the family, everybody. I'm super duper proud of you. You keep doing what you're doing. You're welcome to come back anytime.
I'd love to.
And anything you want to share or say before I close up the show, because I'm about to.
Okay. So, guys, just life happens. If you want to connect with me, go ahead and join the mailing list at thedebtcrusher.org and schedule you a free evaluation consultation. I'll be happy to assist you. And thank you. And life happens. And don't be ashamed. Take the time to look at that credit report and see what it is you need to do.
Ooh, powerful. I ain't mad at you. God definitely called you, girl. Woo! I love you. And have a good evening. Rest well. Financial coach, because I know that's what you are as well. Which but that all tied in, I'm sure. But thank you so much. You rock, you rule, and I ain't mad at you. Much love. V for V.
Bye, guys. Have a good evening.
Woo! Good evening. You guys heard it? Didn't I tell you? She was that, and then some more of that, wasn't she? All right. Resource for the week is Bone Joint Center. 727-697-2200. All right. That's if you have bone joint problems or issues of that nature. They have a center for that. So I want you to call them if you have that type of thing. Look up this debt crusher stuff. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of the Super Bowl. Enjoy your evening and your week. Don't work too hard. This is your manager of health campaign manager, DCI Incorporated, the whole thing, the Dreyfus Health thing. I love you very much. Rise Up East New York. Look up that on Facebook. That's one of the parts we're working on. Bless your life. Good night. I love you. Peace.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
My girl, and say, this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. My girl, and say,